Hi everyone, I'm Damien at Team Micro and welcome to Growth Hacking 101, the podcast for permanent makeup and SMP artists who really want to get the best out of their business. Today we're going to be covering a topic that is really important for every artist to really understand, and that is kind of what SEO is and why it's something that should be right at the top of your radar as an artist. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. The first thing to acknowledge is that right now, the permanent makeup and SMP industry is a little bit behind the times when it comes to SEO. SEO, search engine optimization, is the process of getting your website ranked on Google and other search engines, but primarily Google, for search terms like permanent makeup Miami, scalp micropigmentation London, those types of terms. It's the process of getting ranked without paying for ads. And that ranking process applies to both the main organic search results and to Google Maps. Now, when I say that the industry is a little behind the times, it's because that for a really long time, especially in permanent makeup, the industry has had a really unhealthy relationship, in my view, with Facebook and Instagram. And what I mean by that is that those platforms have been the basis of 90% of all the marketing that these artists have done, which means that they carry a huge amount of risk, because if Facebook update their algorithm, or worse, ban your account, there is no backup because these businesses are completely reliant on those channels. And we've seen this happen. For example, a large number of artists used to get most of their business from Facebook Marketplace. And that's all changed. Now it's really difficult to use Facebook Marketplace to promote services. Facebook have also gone on the offense with before and after photographs. You can't publish before and after photographs now. And even if you follow all the rules and do exactly what you're supposed to do, there's not much in the way of organic reach to be had on Facebook anymore. It's become very much a pay-to-play model. And because everyone is jumping on that pay-to-play model, the issue that's creating is that the more people that are competing for those eyeballs, for those views, for those clicks on your newsfeed, the more expensive it's becoming. Facebook has responded by broadening the scope of your ad campaigns so that they become less targeted in order to be able to create more inventory to sell to people like you. But the problem that creates is it means that not only are the ads getting more expensive, they're also becoming less effective because they're not as well targeted as they were once upon a time. The writing is on the wall, my friends. I'm telling you, just take this from me. Facebook is not the future of marketing in the permanent makeup and SMP world. It's going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. And eventually artists are going to start saying, in fact, they already are to a certain extent, they're going to say, do you know what? This isn't worth it anymore. The big question then is, where do you move your marketing efforts in order to ensure that you're still able to grow your business in a sustainable and predictable way? Well, let's have a look at the alternatives. Instagram is only a small step behind Facebook in terms of the process that I've just described. Instagram is becoming tougher and tougher to get organic reach, almost impossible in some cases. And it's become a pay-to-play model. And the competition on Instagram is rising for that pay-to-play model too. So Instagram isn't going to provide any solutions. What we have seen is a huge influx of traffic onto TikTok. A lot of people are using TikTok now, but TikTok comes with its own problems. Firstly, people are not on TikTok to buy product. It's as simple as that. They're just not. And you can sell products and services through TikTok. Of course you can, but it's not easy. And frankly, a lot of artists out there struggle to translate their business into a language that is really going to work on TikTok. And there's a lot of comments around about how they don't want to do silly dances and stuff to get found on TikTok. Reality is that it is a platform that is very, very casual and informal, and a lot of artists struggle to make that transition. So TikTok isn't really a solution for the majority of artists. And then you've got other platforms like LinkedIn that in theory are ideal, but they don't really have the level of reach that's required to really kind of compete with the kind of traffic that Facebook historically has been able to deliver. Another possible solution is YouTube. YouTube has search volume. It has longevity. It certainly stood the test of time, which means that you're not going to put loads of effort into YouTube that in a year's time becomes obsolete. It has the right audience there, and it's a great way of engaging with potential customers. The problem with YouTube is that creating video is problematic. It's expensive, it's time consuming, and a lot of artists simply don't have the resources available to deliver content consistently on YouTube. So YouTube is absolutely a solution, but it's not going to work for everybody. And of course, when everyone jumps onto YouTube, the issue then is going to become the level of competition. So right now, the best alternative that we have, and so I would argue that it's always been more effective than Facebook, is Google, for a number of different reasons. It ticks all the boxes. The required search volume is there. It's global. It can apply to any artist. Any artist can use Google. There's only really a handful of countries in the world where Google isn't the dominant search engine. And then you've got the buyer intent. When people are on Google searching for services like yours, they are in the zone of where they're actually looking to make a purchase. They're going to make that booking. So when they're searching for things like microblading in Liverpool, they are looking for a microblading artist in Liverpool. Okay, that's specifically what they're looking for. So it's the right people in the right volume at the right time. What are the challenges with Google? Well, the challenge is very simply that because it's such an attractive medium which to find customers, a lot of other people are trying to jump onto Google as well. And as time goes on and more artists realize that Facebook is dying from a marketing perspective, certainly for our industry, more and more of them are going to turn to Google. And it's going to get tougher for a permanent makeup artist or an S&P artist to really get found on Google in the way that they need to. So the time really is now. One of the issues with Google, or one of the good things, depending on what perspective you look at it from, is that with Google, you get first mover advantage. If you can get ranked on Google and show Google that people are engaging with your website, engaging with your Google My Business listing, then you're more likely to retain those positions, and it becomes more difficult for new people coming in. So if ever there was a time to invest in SEO, search engine optimization, it's right now. But let's explore a little bit about what this is, because what SEO is not, there isn't like a straightforward answer. Yes, it's the pursuit of higher rankings on Google, but there's a couple of different parts to this. Part of this is Google organic rankings. Okay, so these are your main Google search results that appear below Google Maps on a search. So the types of rankings the types of keywords you'd be targeting would be geographic. So it could be ombre brows in Birmingham, or it could be microblading training in Atlanta, Georgia. There could be geographic type searches. They could also be information-based searches. Things like, is microblading painful? How long do ombre brows last? Will my scalp micropigmentation discolor? Terms like that are based very much around research, where people are trying to find information prior to making a purchase. The other type of searches that appear in the main organic search results are kind of your top line search terms. So the big ones like how to combat hair loss. And keywords like that are not really worth going after, because the equation between how much effort it takes to rank versus the benefit, because it's not a buyer intent keyword, it's not really worth going after. At the other end of the scale, you've got what's known as long tail search terms. Long tail search terms are the types of terms, they might be something along the lines of best ombre brow artist in Boston, Massachusetts. It's a really long tail search, which means the volume is going to be really, really small. But you can pretty much guarantee that when somebody does that search and comes up with a good result, that they are in the mindset to buy. So the buyer intent is very, very high. So in the middle of those low buyer intent, high volume, and low volume and high buyer intent keywords is a sweet spot where we're talking about geographic keywords, research-based keywords that are specific to your particular services. And they're the keywords that you want to be going after. On the other side of SEO, and it's really important to make the distinction, is you've got Google Maps. Now, Google Maps is big on geographic searches, which generally will either have, they fall into three categories. You've either got microblading near me, in which case it will pick up where the customer is and it will show them results that are close to them. Or it will be something like microblading in Miami, in which case it will show them search results in Miami. Or it might be that the customer just types in microblading and it will show them a Google Map result as part of the overall search result. Now, The split between the value of Google Map rankings and regular organic rankings is about 50-50, but that is changing over time. It used to be that the main organic search results were way more valuable than Google Map rankings, but now it's about 50-50, and our prediction, and certainly what everything is telling us, is that Google Map rankings are going to become the predominant, most sought after rankings over time. The issue with that is that there's only 3 top spots available, and in some cases 4, depending on the type of search. So you need, as an artist, to really understand what it takes to get ranked on Google Maps and on the main organic search results, or you need to hire people that really do understand how to get you there. Look, guys, the benefits are really, really clear, okay? You need a source of customers for your business. There's no two ways about that. You can have all the training in the world, the best products, the best location. Without a ready source of customers that is consistent and reliable, your business is always going to be in a state of financial flux and turmoil. You can't have that. You've got to have a consistent strategy for marketing. And everything that we see revolves around Google and, to a lesser extent, YouTube. And ultimately, you've got to make a choice. If you've decided that Google is the way that you want to go, which I would thoroughly suggest would be the way, certainly it's going to be the way that's going to get you the best results. Not just now, but in the long term, you've got to make a choice. You've either got to pay for ads to show up on the Google search results, or you've got to dig deep into the world of SEO. Okay, you've got to do one or the other. And ultimately, both of those things, guys, achieve the same thing. Google Ads and SEO are 2 very, very different things. Google Ads, it achieves the same thing, but you pay for a particular spot, and there is an algorithm that determines where your ad shows up. The problem with Google Ads is that it's expensive, it's going to get more expensive, and there's only so many slots on that first page. And the moment you stop spending, the benefit is gone. It's also worth mentioning that if you're in a competitive city and you want to really get some traction on Google, you need to be talking $1,000 a month in ad budget. It's not a cheap exercise. But the good thing about Google Ads is that you start spending today and you're probably going to start getting customers tomorrow. It's very, very quick. But it does come with a learning curve. It's not as user-friendly as Facebook ads, where you can just hit a button and be running Facebook ads. You have got to dig a little bit deeper and really understand what's going on. SEO, the downside with SEO is that the chances of you being able to learn SEO by yourself is pretty slim. We do run masterclasses, and we try and give people that 80% of knowledge that they need to get started and start seeing some impact. But if you want to get really, really good at SEO, it's going to take a bit more time than that. The good thing about SEO, though, and this is why we advocate SEO and we don't offer a Google Ads service because we believe in SEO so much, is that the money you spend today doesn't just benefit you today. If you do SEO for the next, say, 2 years, we charge you a monthly fee for the next 2 years to get you ranked. If you stop paying us in 2 years' time, your positions that you've gained over that time are very likely to be held. You continue benefiting from those rankings for a really long time. Now, for the management of expectations, if you're in a really competitive city, let's say New York, and you want to stop spending on SEO but retain those positions, you may end up disappointed. And the reality is that in some cities, you're going to have to carry on paying forever to retain those positions, but it's still a whole lot cheaper than running Google Ads. What often happens is that we switch people onto a maintenance plan so that they'll spend a certain amount of money per month for a couple of years, and that amount of money really depends on the size of the challenge. So somebody in Fort Lauderdale, Florida is going to pay a lot less than somebody in Miami, for example. But then once we get them ranked and they're where they need to be, and we're confident that they're going to hold that position for a time, we'll then reduce their monthly spend. We reduce the amount of work we do, and it becomes more of a maintenance plan. Look, the purpose of this episode is not to sell you our SEO service. Okay, the purpose of this episode is for you really to understand that Facebook is dying from a marketing point of view. The only way you're realistically going to make Facebook work is if you hire people that really know what they're doing. People like Jake Randolph, for example, who have been in this game for a long time and can really help you get the best from Facebook. But in all seriousness, I think that you do need to look at making a switch, and that might be a gradual process. I just don't want you to be in a situation where in 2-3 years' time, the bottom falls out of your marketing plan and you've made no steps towards replacing Facebook as an advertising medium. If you guys have any questions, if there's anything at all that you'd like to know, please drop us a comment. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell icon to make sure you get all our latest content. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast channel, please subscribe, drop us a comment, let us know if you have any questions, or you can find us in our Facebook groups to engage with us there. And if there's anything you're not sure about, we would love to help you. That's all for today. Over and out. Thank you very much.